Hi everyone, welcome back to Rise with Sarah Sincotta. I'm your host, Sarah, and today we have the beautiful Hermione Gardner, Director of Sidekick, joining us. So welcome, Hermione.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for having me. This feels very formal for us because we talk all the time.
For those that don't know Hermione, we've been friends for, it feels like a lifetime now, but we've been connected through the industry for a while. Followed each other on the socials. Then you were kind enough to let me stay with you.
Yeah, we became instant roommates. It was awesome on a little conference trip.
It was so great. And what amazing things that you're doing in the space. So for those that perhaps don't know you as well as I do, tell us a bit about yourself, Hermione.
Okay, where do we go? Where do we start? I'm Hermione. I like long walks on the beach. No, I mean I do actually, but like that's not the important information. So I'm Hermione. I have been working in property management for it's probably like 20 years now, maybe 19, getting close to the big 20. I kind of just fell into property management like most of us did, and spent many years on the front line managing properties and managing teams. And then over the years, I've been working in training, coaching, consulting, real estate software, a whole gamut of things, which is, I think the main thing is it's really just given me exposure to a lot of different kinds of property management businesses, big and small, of all different shapes and sizes and different people types and goals and motivations. And so what I'm really passionate about is finding ways to make it easier for people, to make it more streamlined, to make it easier for them to get from like where they are now to where they want to be. So whether they're feeling, stuck or stagnant in their business and not seeing, the results that they want, or whether they've got some, challenges with, team or processes. I really love going into businesses, both in person and on Zoom, and helping them really streamline, optimize, empower their team, and really help them kind of elevate their service to that next level so that they can grow the rent roll, which is where we're very aligned, because that's, your specialties too.
Yeah. And I think what I loved, Hermione, is the first time, we started really chatting is that there was so much synergy there, and we share similar, mindset patterns and, our learnings and unlearnings, relearnings, the type of people that we work with. I just really love everything that you're doing, and not only with the systems and the optimization and the high performing, but also when it comes to wellness and mindset and high performing habits, because it's so important. I think as individuals, especially in the real estate industry, we have to look after ourselves first before we can then give back to others and serve others the best way possible. Would you agree with that?
Oh, 100%. And I did an interview yesterday with someone, and I said, what was the key to the most successful property management business? And I said, well, it comes down to the people, right? Like there's lots of, I suppose, tech solutions that have tried to enter that, like, service space in property management and tried to be, technical the tech-based property management service. But like it comes down to the people and how well the people can handle, the problems, the relationships, and all of the challenges that come along. But I think that's where that passion side of it comes in for me, is seeing the amount of, like burnout and challenge and stress that property management industry faces day to day. And so, like you just mentioned, like, because I've done a lot of my own personal work, my own personal development, and learned to become more resilient, to better manage my mindset, to be more intentional about the way I live my life. I'm really passionate about weaving that into everything I do. So when I go into businesses, I look at it very holistically. Like often I always find that the problem's not the problem. Someone will call me in and sit there and say, here's what we're facing and what we're challenging. There's always layers deeper. And so when I'm working with business owners or the teams in that business, I'm looking at things very holistically to identify, is it process, or is it the people, or is it the product itself? Like what's the blockages that are preventing that business from moving forwards, and being able to deliver the dynamic solutions for that.
Yeah, I love that. And let's just like talk about this for a second, tech, because I feel like right now in the industry, there's so many shiny objects out there. Like use ChatGPT, use AI, plug in this system. And although it can help with streamlining processes and there for assistance, going back to what you said, Hermione, it comes back to the people and, looking at communication styles, negotiation styles, how you're solving problems for your clients, and how you're looking after yourself. Are you embodying the values of the business? Do you know your own personal values to be able to relate to people day to day? I think when it comes back to the foundation work, we need to get really clear and specific on that before we can then go, all right, I'm going to now start utilizing AI to help with this process. I think that's really important. I feel like people shouldn't get distracted by all these things. It's there to help with the businesses, but also it's what I say is back to basics. Like right now, refine, redefine. Look at how you're communicating with your clients. How's your retention strategies? How are you getting personable with your clients? I think we're similar in that sense as well, where, we're looking at the people, how we can help them from a personal perspective to then implement that into the businesses so that the people come first and then the systems, processes, structure, and all that comes with that as well.
Yeah, 100%. And I think, I typically agree with that. And I think that there's so many shiny objects, perceived silver bullets to kind of get you where you want to go. There's lots of awesome tech pieces, which actually do, reduce stress and time for a lot of property management people. But I think that, in a lot of businesses that I see, say, if they get so focused on, they hear about AI, oh, that's the thing we've got to be doing to move our business forward. And like, don't get me wrong, like I love it. I use it every day. It's a tool for me, but I know it's not the thing that is going to make me happier, to grow my business, to like, it's multifaceted, the different aspects. And, I think as both of you and I agree, it comes down to the individual people within that business and how empowered and motivated and how their resilience is and how their mindset is as to how they're going to perform each day and whether they're even going to engage in new technology anyway, because that's the other big thing. There's a lot of people who are sort of very stuck in a very fixed mindset way of thinking and don't even want to look at it and don't even want to embrace it, when there actually are some benefits for, implementing a new piece of tech into your business, even if it's change and even if it's hard and even if it's different, being open to the fact that, wow, that could make my life easier. And if I can get back that, 5-10 hours a week by implementing that, what would that mean for me? Would that reduce my stress levels? Would that give me more time to service my clients? Would that give me more time to grow my business? So, whenever someone's asking me about implementing, a piece of tech or using AI or a new shiny object that they've seen, like, is this the thing that's going to help us? It's like, well, it becomes part of it, but like, what will it allow you to do? So if you can save time, save yourself half an hour coming up with ideas for your blogs, for your website by using ChatGPT, can that save you the time? It can actually allow you and your business to move forward because you've been sitting on this project stuck for 6 months, not doing anything about it. Then yes, great, use it as a tool.
Yeah, absolutely. And just going from that, I see so many people get in this stuck mentality, but also procrastinating. Whereas like we know, and it's come with time and experience and us unlearning and relearning about how to show up every day. And we see like new trends now when it comes to marketing and social media, where we're all on our phones, we're on some form of social media, and we know that potentially our clients are going to be there, or it could be a potential team member will be on there looking at the culture of the office or looking what they're up to, looking at, the values that they put out there. But I think I have this thing, it's you got to start somewhere, right? So if you're procrastinating, like, why are you procrastinating? Because if you actually do the thing, then what is the result from you actually doing that thing? So video, for a perfect example, I used to hate videos. I started small. I did short snippets. I used to, use filters. I still use some filters sometimes because, I have my own stuff that I deal with as well, but I still show up. People can still see my voice, my face. They can see the energy that I put out. It's not me procrastinating. It's like, I know that if I do this thing, it's going to impact more people. It's going to help more people, and sharing my opinion and voice. And I think we've all got a place when it comes to doing that. So what would be like a tip for anyone watching? Be like, yeah, I've been procrastinating. I need to do that thing.
Well, I think you've given the answers. Like sometimes like the answer is just to start. Like even if it's like, if you're procrastinating because you've got this big project or goal, right? Like it's just taking the one step. Like, well, don't worry about the whole big thing. Like what is one thing that you could do that would actually get you closer, right? So if it's video, if it's like showing up on video and doing more on your social media, like Is it just, maybe it's not like speaking to the camera. Maybe it's just putting a selfie of yourself on there and getting some love from the selfie and feeling like, oh, now I've got a little bit of extra confidence that helps me move through the fear. Because I think with that video one in particular, procrastination is probably more caused by fear than some of the other aspects. Like procrastination, a lot of people think procrastination is just being lazy, but it's actually not being lazy. Like there is something that is causing you to procrastinate. Like fear is typically a really big one. That's something a theme I've been working through a lot in my own life and my own business, is moving through the fear and understanding, well, why am I fearful? Like what's going on beneath that? Yeah, what would happen if I do that? And what would happen if I don't do that? Like if I don't do anything, am I just going to be in the same spot in 3 months? And typically for me, that allows me to go, well, no, I don't want to be in the same spot in 3 months. I want to be further ahead. That can allow me to get through the fear as well. So kind of future pacing yourself can help. But I think, as I said, just what's one small thing that you could do to move towards it, to build momentum and confidence that will allow you to start to move through that procrastination.
Yeah, I love that. And something, a practice that I've done, and it's taken a long time with my self-development journey, is I started journaling. And I found that by journaling, I would be answering my own questions. So like you just actually did it in real life. Then it's like, why am I fearful of doing that? And actually just sitting in that, reflecting and answering it yourself, which takes time to develop that. But I think journaling has been a big thing for me in my life, to be able to reflect and go, okay, why am I not doing that thing? What's showing up for me today? Why am I feeling this way? And then answering those questions myself, which is,
I mean, we never give ourselves time to reflect really. And it's funny, I've said this a few times in a couple of different talks I've done. I sort of say, like, do you ever find like your best ideas or your breakthroughs or the things that, you've been sort of stuck on, you kind of be able to work through them, come to you when you're in the shower or when you're trying to fall asleep at night?
yes.
Like my theory is, it's like, we don't give ourselves any white space, breathing space in our minds, reflection time, because from the second we wake up, like if you live in my life right now, from the second I wake up, I've either got kids or dogs at me. If my kids or dogs aren't at me, sure, I should get up and journal and do something for my mind. But half the time, pick up and reach for my phone like most of us do. We're starting the day consuming information, reacting to what we're seeing, comparing ourselves to other people. We're then, probably listening to podcasts, music, radio in the car, or like dealing with the beautiful stories from the kids if you've got kids going on in your life.
Yeah.
Then the second, you're in the office or you're like going straight into work, like you're receiving messages, consuming information, juggling the phone messages coming through, juggling the phone calls, spending all day doing that, getting back home, dealing with that all evening again. And then typically for most of us, when we finally get that wind down time, a lot of us are watching TV, scrolling on our phones, not potentially doing anything that actually gives our mind some space. So then when we go to sleep at night, it's like, ping, ping, things start ticking in and dropping in and flicking through when we're in the shower, because we're suddenly not consuming any new information and messages. And so I think that it's a really powerful self-development practice that you've got there, Sarah, because like that allows you the space to process, allows you the space to reflect and go, really, what's working, what's not, and what do I need to change? Like that's the kind of, you're giving yourself the space to think that. So that's another thing. If you're stuck in procrastinating or feeling overwhelmed or anything in your life, if you just give yourself some time to sit down, journal, like what's bothering, like literally go, what's bothering me or what's the problem? And then just start working through it. Like it's really powerful.
Yeah. And like just on that, like Hermione, I like going deep. I like having deep conversations. I've done it, like yourself, I've done a lot of self-development, but I had to learn the hard way. My body literally shut me down. And I think that's what happens when you're not listening to your body. You're in that reactive mode all the time, and you're just not giving yourself some love. You're not giving yourself time to reflect your whatever it might look like. Like I as well do meditation, and for that helps me. It could be that you just put on a song and you just go dance and just be with yourself in that moment. It's just small little things that you can do. I use like how I teach some of my clients is look at the moments throughout the day where you actually are doing things, not even consciously, it's subconsciously, right? So for instance, brushing your teeth. Okay. We all brush our teeth every day, twice a day. Hopefully you're brushing your teeth, because the dentist will tell you to do that. However, it's in that moment, you're not doing anything else. You're just brushing your teeth. So it's like small things like that you're doing throughout the day that you can just practice these mindfulness things. so that these thoughts that are coming up, you just allow them to come up and reflect on that while you're not doing anything else, So I think that's, a little tip for people today as well, is those small moments throughout your day, whether you're making a coffee or a tea or you're going for a walk, is just be with yourself, be really present with yourself. Because small things like that will help you avoid burnout, and subconsciously as well, all of these things that we're doing, all of the things that we're consuming, your body stores all of that. And then it's just like you become a robot, Hermione, right? Like you're just doing things on autopilot and you're not even conscious that you're doing those things. So it's having these practices in place will help rewire your brain, get conscious with yourself so that you can then be conscious with other people too, and every single thing that you're doing throughout your day.
Yeah. And yeah, I'm the same as you. I love going deep. So just a little added layer of deepness on that. I think it's that becoming conscious is becoming aware of the fact that you have thoughts and you do certain things. Like I think that self-awareness is a real muscle that you can develop, and the more self-aware you can become of your thoughts, of your feelings, of your behaviors, like it's so easy to get stuck in, oh my gosh, everything's negative and I'm overwhelmed. And like I used to get stuck in those spaces for like months, like life's shit, X, Y, Z, like just stuck in that negative headspace. And I think once I started to do more of that personal development work and become aware of the fact that like, oh, I can have a feeling, I can feel stressed and overwhelmed, and I can then become aware of the fact that, I'm feeling really stressed and overwhelmed now. Why is that? What's going on? What do I need to do to bring myself out of that, to change that? Or if I'm stuck in a really negative thought pattern, like, wow, I'm like really in a negative headspace right now. What do I need to do to circuit break that? Like, what's a new thought I can bring in or a new action I can take to really shift that? I think that, as I said, it's not an overnight thing. It's a muscle that you practice and you practice and you become more aware. And so it doesn't stop you from having the negative thoughts, doesn't stop you from getting overwhelmed or whatever the big feelings are, the stress or anxiety that you feel. But what it does, the more self-aware you become, it allows you to catch it a lot quicker. And like you said before, give it a circuit breaker. For me, like music is a huge, huge, huge state changer for me. Like I can pretty much, like I'm like really into music like you. I know you are as well. Like I can go, all right, like I'm not feeling great, driving back to sit down to do my work for the day. If I put on like Beyonce song or something, like I can just really shift my mood, right? Like, well, as you say, put something on, have a bit of a dance around. That's a circuit breaker for me, whether it's deep breathing, meditating, going for a walk, talking to a friend, music. What is that thing that will then shift your state? But to be able to shift your state, you have to be aware that you have a state that needs shifting, that you want to feel differently.
Really. And another advice, if you're feeling down, don't listen to music that's going to make you cry, because when we're talking like deep, and I shared something this morning, Hermione, and you liked it because I know you would have resonated with that, but we're talking about frequency and energy and vibrations. Like music has frequency and vibration. So if you are feeling down and you're listening to music that's essentially on a low vibration, you're going to cry. But if you're feeling down and you can put on your favorite song, get something that's going to pump you up, because you will feel that vibration also. It's the same thing when they say about, it's like you're surround yourself with people who will lift you up, will inspire you, will encourage you, because you feel that energy from those people, right?
Totally.
Like we can feel that. So another tip. But Hermione, we came together, and I love the friendship and the partnership that we formed. And we do have something incredible coming up nearly in a month. So let's talk about it, because we've shared it. We're so grateful from the response, because I think, well, we knew it was needed in the industry and the fields that we work in. So the BDM Summit, let's talk about it.
I think, I think it's first to acknowledge, like, we just put this out there as an idea in our minds, and we could have procrastinated, we could have put it off, and there was many reasons why this shouldn't have or couldn't have gone ahead in our planning phases. And I think that it's beautiful that we've created something, we've put it out there, the response has been amazing. We've sold 60 tickets to this incredible event. Like, we've got very limited amount remaining. We just upgraded to a bigger room at the Jasper Hotel in Melbourne for the event on the 12th of October. And I think we've got about, I don't know what, like 16, 18 tickets left.
Yeah.
So not many. And I think the biggest thing is we know there's a lot of conferences, we know there's a lot of events, and there's some incredible people out there doing incredible things. And we just really wanted to bring both our clients and people we don't work with together, get in a room, really focus on both the growth of the business, but also the growth of the person, and workshop that throughout the day. So not just sit and talk at you the whole day. Sure, we'll try and be as inspiring as we can, but actually we're going to be giving you tangible things to do in those sessions, things that you can literally go away and plug into your business and yourself and your own development to really start to move things forward, both from, as I said, the business growth side, but so that you'll actually walk away slightly more evolved as a human, slightly more aware. Like there's some incredible sessions that we've got from especially Andy Reid and Kiani Mills that will just really shift your mindset. Like I'm doing sessions on those, like that performing, like your own individual performance and optimizing yourself and your life and your habits to really allow you to perform at your best as much as you possibly can. And we've got yourself and we've got Nick, who are going to be really focusing on, okay, like how do you now go and use that energy, use that shifted mindset to convert, win more clients and get the results that you deserve to have. And I think that we've really tried to make it quite practical and holistic at the same time, to make sure it's really worth the time that you're going to be putting into coming for the day. So does that explain it?
Yeah, you definitely did. We're so blessed to have Nick Friend, County Mills, and Annie Reid joining us on this day. Like we wanted to also align ourselves, and I think with conferences and events, a lot of work has gone into this, and we know Hermione, everyone else won't see it, but we wanted to make sure that the people involved in the day aligned with the vision and the mission and the values of us, and to give back to other people as well. So, and in our style of work, I think, we're massive on that personal and professional development. So we've definitely brought this in through the day. Like, yes, we want you to get results. We want you to grow your rent rolls. We want you to succeed and achieve whatever goals that you have in mind. However, we also are bringing in like that, what you said, that holistic approach. So, what can we do as individuals, and how can we be leaders in the industry, and how can we really look at the things that we're doing to also help the team as well. For those that are coming that have a team, everything that they'll learn from the day, they'll be able to then bring back to their office and their team, and with a new inspiration. And I like that word that you use, because that's part of my branding, but evolution, because that's the beauty of being humans. We continue to evolve and grow. So we hope that, I know that it's going to be reflected on the day, and I'm really excited about it. And how incredible that 60 people have already purchased tickets. And like Hermione said, we've got limited tickets left. We did have to upgrade the room, which was super exciting for us. But also a plug into our sponsors as well, because they've been phenomenal. And, we couldn't have done this without their support as well. So we've got, oh my gosh, I have to get the list in front of me because we've got so much, but we've got Flick It Over, Moving Hub, Agent Sync, Inspection Express, Call Logic, Smart House, Tappy, MCG Quantity Surveyors, Inspect Real Estate. We've also got Intrinsic Cleaning, Quick Copy, Preston. They've been so amazing and helping with all of the collateral for our event. Alan Bathgate, which that is a bittersweet for us, because Alan, and I hope that you do watch this, but Alan actually helped Hermione and I getting this off the ground as well. So, thank you, Alan. And just for all your support too in that. And of course, our businesses, because our businesses are supporting doing this incredible event. I don't think I've missed it. Oh, I do. ID for me. Sorry, that is one that I also forgot to mention. So a massive thank you as well to our sponsors.
Totally. And we know it's been a busy year for conferences and events. So we're very grateful for the support that we've been shown. But it also allows us, to put on this awesome event for, and we're, it's the inaugural BDM Summit, and we would ideally, want to put this on every year, at minimum. Some people ask for different state locations, but we'll see how that goes. But I think if you haven't already got your ticket and you've been sort of sitting on the fence, I'd really encourage you to ask yourself what's stopping you, what's procrastinating you from getting a ticket if you've been thinking about it. Is it time, money, fear, like what is going on? And see if you can work through that. But also, if it's not the right time for you, it's all good as well. We're very much like, it's got to feel aligned for you and for your business, for you to get the most out of it, right? Like, we don't want people coming and sitting in the room where it's like, oh, I have to be here. Like, we want you to want to be there and want to make some change in your business and your life. And I think that holistic aspect is so important, because we could sit there all day and tell you, okay, how do you get more leads and convert more leads, and, go now, go and get it. But if you're not supported, if you're not evolving as an individual, you're just going to end up back in burnout town like everybody else.
Yes, and we don't want that for anyone. And yeah, it's really nice that we've been able to bring both aspects together on this day, because we're aware that yes, there are many conferences. We wanted to have a whole day event so that we can bring as much as possible, but so that you are feeling supported. That Hermione and I, we're pretty good at holding space for people. So it's just a day that you also get to be with other like-minded people, and I think that is something really beautiful about attending events and conferences, that you're there with other people who also want to learn, they want to grow, they want to evolve, they're dedicated to the businesses, they're dedicated to their clients, they're dedicated to their team. So what better way that you get to be in a room full of other people who are just wanting the same thing as you. The other thing, Hermione, that I will mention is we do have afterwards, we will have a bar tab open so that the networking and relationships and connections continue after the event, because they're really important things for us. So for anyone coming down, you will get the opportunity to all, continue that networking and hopefully those high vibes afterwards, which I'm really looking forward to. And the venue is just beautiful as well. So it's really going to be a special day, great space. And Hermione, I'm excited. I'm pumped. Like nearly a month to go. Yeah.
I know. And yeah, grateful to have been doing this with you. I think it's been, when you partner up with someone, you never know how it's going to go. But I think I think it's awesome when you find someone that you're aligned with. And I think it's also important to just, highlight the fact that, even for you and I, like, it's possible to collaborate with your industry peers. I spoke to someone a couple of months ago and like, oh, well, I don't necessarily want to do that because I might be in there with my competition. And I sort of said, well, like, if we change the way we look at it, right? Like, if we can all evolve and get better, like, it's better for everyone. And so, you and I could have easily just been, competitors in the industry and like never connected. But look what's been possible when we've connected, we've collaborated, we've aligned. And yeah, I think this will be one of many things that we're able to do together with ourselves and other awesome, trainers and coaches and software providers and in the industry. Like, we're all focused on that evolution and getting ourselves better and getting the businesses better. Like, it's only more positive for the industry and the individuals within it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's been a lot of talk, especially in Vic, being hit hard, and that's one of the reasons why we wanted to do it in Vic first for the event. And if we are all doing the best that we can for ourselves, the industry will improve. But the change has to start with each individual person for it to improve in the first place. So, and I think that's a great reminder. And like what you said, Hermione, is we work in similar fields where we've got a lot of synergy, but our businesses are still, so different. And we could have not done this because viewing each other as competition, I'm going to do competition like that. Whereas we've collaborated with so many things and helping people because of the synergy that we share. And I think that's the same when it looks at real estate agencies and property management. Like, some of my clients, they're in different suburbs and they're referring clients to each other. Like, how amazing is that? I've got another 2 clients that have become like best mates from being in the same program, that work in the same area, and they're best friends now. Like, this is the kind of thing that I'm loving seeing in the industry, and more we're seeing people come together and collaborating, and it's just so amazing to see that. And we hope that after this event too, that can be something that you embody or have that mindset, is like, yeah, there is enough business for everyone. You just focus on yourself, focus on the relationships, focus on the connections, that you have, and everyone wins.
Yeah, and the individual strengths as well. I mean, I love hearing that yeah, you've got two BDMs in the same location who can be friendly and have, it's how much more relaxing to just have friendly competition. Oh, did you get Mrs. Smith? Yeah. She probably would go better with you anyway, right? Like, and that's the thing. Like, we can't, even when I did BDM, or even sometimes when I have clients come to me now, like, I'm not going to be the best person for everybody.
Yeah.
But I think that each individual has their own strengths, and I still, like, I'll refer out, like, if I'm not the right person to help someone, like, I refer out to the best person that's going to help them.
Yeah.
Or like, if I know that myself and another coach or consultant is up for the same client, like, if they get it, I'm not like all bitter. I'm like, okay, cool, that must be more aligned for them right now with where they're at. And I think the same can happen. And I see that, unfortunately, the other side of it, where, yeah, it's very like, I remember actually when I was a property manager in the city, we were like enemies with the people down the road. It was like, anytime we knew that they were going in and we were going in to pitch for the same business, it was like, oh, I can't believe that guy, blah, blah, blah. Now I know that person. Like, the guy who was up against his competition, he's a lovely person. He's nice. Like, he's a really great operator, right? Like, but my mindset's shift to be able to see it like that now.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to shake hands with the BDM next door. Like, I used to go up against him all the time, and we were mates. It was just like, oh, yeah, Sarah, you got that listing. I was like, yeah, I did. And we'd have a laugh about it. It was like, it's fine. We knew, and I lost some to him as well. It's just, that's how it works. People will align themselves with the people, right? Whoever they want to go with. And that's just, as long as you're doing the best that you can. I have this thing, like, you're not going to win business all the time. And I think anyone who's saying that you'll have 100% conversion or you'll win listing, like, I don't, that's just my belief, Hermione, is that you just won't do that, because we're individual people, and people that we meet, they're also individuals, and they're going to align themselves with who they feel is going to be the best fit for them. Right. And that wasn't always the case for me. And that was fine. I didn't take it personally. I didn't take it to heart. I wished them the best, and I kept in touch with them and made sure that, that they were getting the best service possible, and that was the right decision and the right fit for them. So food for thought as well, I guess, when it comes to that. But
oh gosh, yeah, no, that's just be a whole nother conversation, right? But yeah, like, if you're getting 100% of the business you're going for, like, I'd say that we're either not going for enough business or we're taking on business that maybe is shit business and isn't aligned. Like, as you said, it's like, you don't have to convert every client. Like, I'm a big believer, especially with the smaller business owners I work with, where it's sort of more they're managing the properties themselves. I'm like, we want to make sure that the landlords and clients that you're bringing on are aligned for you. They're going to like working with you, like they're like working with the way that you work.
Yeah.
And so there is a point in time where even, like, you'll be able to turn down business or actually say, no, I don't really think that's the right person. Or just by being your authentic self, you will actually then repel the wrong people from you anyway. So I think, that's a whole nother conversation that we can
combo. But we're, Hermione and I will be continuing doing more things together. So we hope that you enjoyed today and our combos, and hopefully we go deep, Hermione, in our next ones, because I love it. I love going deep.
Watch out.
But
that's going to be on like the front page of the REB News. Sarah and Hermione love going deep together.
Oh gosh, let's keep PG. But thanks everyone for watching. Hermione, I love you so much, and I couldn't have think of a better person to do this. So I will include the details below for the BDM Summit, but yeah, not to just be quick, but there are limited seats now available.
Yeah, and there isn't a bigger room we can go to, like, this is it.
Yeah, but thanks so much, Hermione.
All right, thanks so much. Love you too.
Thanks.
Bye.